me, you bald motherfucker!
Horde of Fae is blocking the road towards the Canyon Hill mine. The problem with Apoteer is they didn't use gnome miners. Winds in the hollow are fierce. The problem with Apoteer is they didn't use gnome miners. Always bring
Name's Alex. Alex Anatole. Let me know if you've got any equipment that needs repairing. I'll get it back to you as good as new. They're Motus Mining's only competition out here. They set up shop first, actually, but they're just about finished. When Motus moved in, they lured the errand workers with promise of higher wages. Errand excavations never recovered. I hear the foreman, Edgar Errand, is pretty bitter about it. He still hasn't left, though. Probably holding on to the hope he can get his business running again. It's a dangerous region, for sure. There are beasts out there just waiting to tear a gnome apart. The mining operations here have run into a real wall when it comes to the local wildlife. Take heed and learn from their hardship. Make sure you're well equipped, and don't hesitate to ask for repairs. Paying for adequate repairs will save your skin.
The sun's something, isn't it? The sun's something, isn't it? The problem with Apoteer is they didn't use gnome miner.
Looks like I'm in luck. Didn't expect to see so heavily armed an adventurer wandering into our camp. Are you interested in a job? I've got a fey beast situation I need taken care of. Excellent. A pack of wild fey have holed up at the Canyon Hill site at the top of the ledge. I've already dispatched a scholar to investigate, but he hasn't returned. You'll find him near the road towards the mine. I'll have more information for you there. But it isn't useful for much else. The coward refuses to go near the Fae. Get to the site and figure out why those blasted things have come out of the mine. And then get rid of them. Speak to the scholar when the deed is done. He'll pay you. Oh, where are my manners? Foreman Vire at your service. This here is Motus Mining's latest outfit. And my care and charge. They were our biggest competition. And they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar Errand never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. But he's the one I've got, so that's that. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. Our scholar, Ainser, ought to be at the Canyon Hill site, getting to the bottom of this damn hold-up. He ought to be back already, telling me how he fixed it. If you do see him, give him a kick for me and tell him to get on with it. I've got miners just standing around not mining. Good day. Any sign of that worthless scholar? Didn't see him near the eastern ledge, did you? Good day.
The things I saw in that desert. What can we possibly do against wild fae? They'll tear us apart!
As it is blistering. The problem with Apateers, they didn't use gnome miners. It's amazing that the fae can flourish in such a warm environment. Greetings.
Hey, you look well armed. Aren't you here about the Krullock? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it! Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Aaron. Rumor has it he spent every coin he had building his mine. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business. We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorizing the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise. Once word got out that Edgar Aaron had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a chief of security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Krullock that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone. No one knows what's at the top of Cloudcrest, but that don't stop folks speculating. I've heard the first fae set foot in Amalur came from there. That'd explain why there are so many of them in Detir. Know it as well as my own calloused hand. That's why they pay me good gold to sit here. You won't find much on the surface here, but trapped below is the salvation of Odessa's future. We've the raw materials under our feet to equip entire armies, and that's why you'll find Motus mining and, such as it is, Aaron excavations digging here. Canyon Hill is up the eastern ledge. That's the one that spooked the miners. The Dune Head operation's hardly begun thanks to a vicious Croddock. I've heard the rumors. They might be saints or bastards, but they've coin to spare, and that's enough for me. We don't have separate rooms, but we've got beds upstairs. It'll cost you, though. We're the closest thing to an inn for leagues around us. Are you enjoying your stay? Those beds aren't luxurious, but they're better than sleeping on the ground. I've heard bizarre tales about those caves. The workers swear they've seen ghastly men, ravaged by some plague or foul magic, pacing round the entrances. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this place long before Motus moved in. He ran Aaron Excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left. Aaron Excavations? They're the other mining operation in the Hollowlands. Motus's only competition. Not particularly stiff competition, mind you. Especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's miners with much higher wages. Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you, though, Edgar's bitter about Motus luring away his workers away with higher wages. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking Dune Head Mine. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there. Never lower your guard in the Hollowlands. The desert's vicious, twisted, and strange. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful.
Winds in the Hollowlands can be fierce. Work at Canyon Hill Mine has stopped completely since the Fae took up residence.
Oh, I'm in a terrible bind. I don't dare go forward, and I certainly can't go back. Mind you, I wouldn't go up that eastern ledge. It's most unsafe. Oh yes, a stalwart foreman. He sent you after me, I suppose. It's a place of mystery and intrigue. No one knows what lurks at the top, though everyone's got a guess. Scholar of mineralogy, Motus mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. Odessa could not have been built without the Motus mining interest. I've heard tales of terrifyingly scarred men appearing at the entrance of the caverns from time to time. I don't care why they're there. I just don't want them anywhere near me. Yes. Well, no. I got 10 paces up the slope when I spotted those Fae. What's a scholar to do against hordes of vicious beasts? One of those boggarts. It shook its fist at me. Yes, and find out what's wrong. Now that I've found it, and have no desire to investigate further. There were boggarts, lots of boggarts. And I think I saw a thresh. I was rather too busy running to note the particulars. Well, if you were willing to go first, I would have no objection to trailing behind at a safe distance. To the Canyon Hill site at the top of the ledge, where a cadre of Fae awaits to rip us to shreds, no doubt. Lead the way. Slope we go.
Harsh place to make a living. You lead the way. I've yet to discover a reason for their presence. Let's keep going.
soft feet, sharp knives. No! The jewel! Stolen! Stolen from beside me! Was it you who took it? These creatures mean you no harm. They are drawn here as I drift between my dreams and the waking world. Caught because the light, source of solace, is gone. Snuck in, sharp knives, soft feet, stole the jewel from my side. Like a whisper in the wind, they took the light northward through the narrow rocks. They became a meal for many vines.
It's beginning to make sense. This Fey maiden is real. But I believe we're speaking to a projection of her as she dreams. There is a Fey hollow under this mine, where I'll wager she sleeps. And these other Fey, they're drawn to the power of this projection. Restoring to her this light she speaks of might calm things down. Find me at the Motus mining office when you return it to her. I'll make sure you're duly compensated. No, I feel quite certain. The maiden we see here is a projection of her dream self, as she calls it. The real Fae's asleep, somewhere in the hollow below us, I'll wager. And these other wild Fae are drawn to the power she exudes while in this form. Most likely return what was stolen to the Fae made within the hollow. That is how these things tend to go.
The light, stolen. Stolen from my side. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. He and I are two, where there once were many. We lived then wild on dune and crag. Now he watches the waking day, and I tend to the dreaming murmurs of the stone. When I became aware the light was gone, the shell of the reverie cracked, and my dream self wandered free. Long, long ago, I wandered lost in the dark of night. I cried a pool into a rocky basin, and starlight gathered there. I fashioned this into a jewel, and by its light found my way home. Is it any wonder that I hold it so dear? To the north, among narrow rocks, soft feet, sharp knives have set aside a place of rest, and were waylaid by many vines attracted by the glow of the light. Oh, the light, the light! I cannot see.
watch them day by day, their foolish, meddling scampering to separate one piece of earth from a slightly different piece of earth. Fae know that the land will endure, will heal any wounds mortals can inflict. But I worry that these wounds may be long to heal. I cannot act, I am bound by our beliefs. But an agent of change could cauterize these wounds by making the century plants bloom. Have you met her? Fair and dark as the night itself. She will sleep until my time is past. Then I will lie down and dream while she walks the sands. I shepherd the surface while Orenda sleeps beneath. I await the day when I may lay down to rest as Orenda does, beneath the sands. The mortal's growing influence in this world wearies me. Normally they blossom only every 100 years. The land stirs and wakens, and what was worn away rejuvenates. That is the way of things. In ages past, we danced in circles on the dunes and sang sweet songs to the distant peaks. Now I alone walk here, while Orenda dreams in reverie below. The little mortals, you mean? Forever cutting, clearing, digging, will they never stop? Won't they tire of it and go away? Oh, I cannot make them bloom, not now. When the time is right, one Fey whisper will do. You mortals are not bound as we are. You can grow such things out of season. You wouldn't know with these little mortals here, but these lands are a Fey place. And Fey places need refreshing from time to time. The blooming of the century plants is the fastest road of recovery. The century plants have deep ties to the pulse and marrow of the land. Their breath wakens the desert, causes the rocks to stir and grow. A friend of the sands, you'll do what needs doing. You will need petrichor. Here is a skinful I have gathered. But first, you must ready the plant with fire. Only after fire will they drink the petrichor. There are 3 century plants in this land just now. Make all 3 bloom, and all will be well. The smell of the earth after rain. I have gathered it over years in that skin. For each of the 3 upon the sands, scorch it with fire, then slake it with the petrichor I gave you. Farewell. Ah, what trouble brews these days. It makes my heart full sore. For now, then.
In ancient times, the desert had no shade. The sun burned the land to ruin. The rivers disappeared, and the animals hid underground. The people cried to Helios for mercy, but he didn't answer their prayers. As the plants withered in the heat, the hollow lands echoed with the crackle of fires.
Another, come to steal the light, come to trouble the reverie. The light returned to me. Did you do this? The blessings of the thorn and shadow be upon your head, little mortal. Now leave me to the reverie, and the deep shadow and the far wind sighs. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. This is home, the place of power. I can feel the mortal's presence above, taking, chipping away at the land. Calavar will not be pleased. Now I have the light, the reverie will be untroubled. Now leave me be, little one. Leave me be. Ah. Another, come to steal the light, come to trouble the reverie.
A Fey relic? Was that it? She called it a light. I wonder what possessed those fools to steal it. No matter. Facts are, without you, I'd still be tugging my beard at the bottom of that slope. So please have this. The interest rewards those who smooth its way. Foreman Vire? Head harder than a rock, and emptier than a mined-out stope. All this caused by a stolen jewel. Remarkable. As I've always said, there's no understanding Fey. All the same, we ought to have known we were digging right above a Fey hollow. Didn't seem important at the time, I suppose. So long.
The same from Odessa every day. They want the minerals. It's in worse shape than Canyon Hill. Some especially foul old cruduck's been prowling the sands, attacking my miners. Found a taste for gnome, it seems. That's what Capstan tells me, and I, generally speaking, leave these matters to him. Well, the Canyon Hill site's underway thanks to you. But for every step in this place, there's another stone to trip on. Good eve. The same from Odessa every day. They want the minerals. Surely you've heard the name. Odessa's most powerful mineral mining interest. Dug the very stones Odessa was built on, and the gems that power her. Good eve.